Hello everyone, I just want to show you how to basically run a delivery with this mod. The way I design it is to have a map marker on this particular location. Right now only Watson is supported. So if you go to the map, you can find it here. Ignore the fixer thing, I have to figure out a way to pretty much change this to what I want, but right now I kind of like it because every time it would be a random fixer. But you have this on your map. You go in this location, you can see it from any direction. Once you're here, something pops up. So you have options to start shift and ignore. When we hit start shift, a truck will summon. And this is a very, very important part. Unlike other delivery mods that have been around, in order to complete jobs, you have to drive this particular truck. If you have a mod that would allow you to purchase this particular truck, you could also use that, but it has to be specifically this truck with its own specific ID. So once you actually enter the truck, a new UI will appear and it will kind of tell you what you have to do. And so let's get in. So one of the reasons that you have to be in this particular truck is you will have a new icons in your map. So right now we have another fixer here. So this was our base. And now the same icon appeared here. I'm just gonna show you something before actually going there. So if I hit this, now I have a way marker that can actually lead me there. But the moment I leave the vehicle, it disappears. Because you can only do the jobs once you're in the vehicle. So that way, if you kind of leave the vehicle, then you will lose basically the map marker. So let's get in. And again, you don't actually pay to own this truck, it just summons, and it will despawn, I will explain that afterwards. So we go here, and this is the first location, basically, that the game tells us to go. And usually for the first kind of like waypoint, it is very close by, so it's not too far. I put some location that is a bit far, so these are all random, by the way. So it asks us to go to this warehouse. You could park anywhere you want, because now you know where the waypoint is. So you could actually leave the car, the waypoint will disappear, but you could actually go there. Now so it says load cargo, so one thing I'm going to show is right now the time is 11:35. Once we load cargo, it will take time for the truck to actually load the cargo, so let's see. So it says load the cargo, and 1 hour has passed. This is random too, by the way. So now that the hour has passed and our cargo is ready, we have to drop the cargo. So now we go into the truck. Again, we go to the map. I kind of like, so we have to, this is where we were. So this is the home base. Again, I have to find a way to establish that faster. But as we can see, we have another one over there. So now we can actually go there to drop the cargo. And the reason I didn't do an automatic waypoint like this is because I kind of wanted to give a way of navigating in the map. So you kind of have like a mini type game to find where you have to drop the item. And again, similar to what I showed earlier, if we leave the truck, then boom, the map waypoint is gone and you can't find it anywhere in the map. The moment you're on the truck, it will come up again. And let's go and drop the cargo. And in the future, as I'm expanding on this mod, I'm going to add challenges. So right now, the reason I went with Watson is because I wanted to have a job for V to have during Act 1. So this area is basically covered. As you kind of expand into the game, I'm going to have more areas, and those going to have like better trucks. And it's not going to be level based. I don't want this to be like a very major core like system where you have to level up your truck, kind of like deliveries and whatnot. I could park here. You could actually technically go over it and on-go cargo, but I personally like to just leave, and then another hour has passed. 1 or 2, it's kind of like on random. So now that you have it, it actually tells you to go back to your base. So we go here. We already know where the base is. You don't actually have to be in the vehicle to do it. In this step, you can actually call your car, because the moment you finish the job, the truck will disappear. So it doesn't really matter. But for the sake of immersion, you could potentially just drive the truck back. And all these areas that have been chosen randomly are in Watson, so it's not like I'm going to send you in the Badlands or whatnot. In the future updates, you will have very broad missions. And I'm going to have like different stations, so right now this is the home base that we have over there. Is only going to summon this type of truck. If we go to main city, it will be a different truck, etc. So as we go back, you will potentially finish your shift and get paid. One thing I haven't mentioned, and it is something that the mod doesn't directly tell you, I did it on purpose, is as you can see, unlike other courier mods or like other delivery mods, you don't have a timer. So it doesn't tell you any like kind of like urgency, and that is because majority of the jobs that you are doing is not time sensitive, and it didn't make sense for me to punish the player for driving carefully on the truck to have like a timer or some sort. However, even though there is no urgency in the game, there is an internal clock that is counting your delivery time. So as you just basically move around, there is an internal clock that counts the time that has passed since you started your shift. So let's say you took maybe 5 minutes to do the delivery, you're fine. As you go 10 minutes over, so, and this is not in-game time, it's actual time. So this is particularly based on the time that you spent on your actual clock. So basically your real time, not the game time. So as you progress, that clock will eventually assign a penalty pretty much on your pay. So let's say I took more than 10 minutes, 25% will get deducted. And that kind of like deduction can be assigned into your native setting. Yeah, so penalty, you can actually assign it on how it would be, the amount of money. I won't really push you to use this, but you can't. And the time, again, is a standard cargo, unload, load. This might be a bit different from the time of the release. But yeah, so if you go over a certain time, then you will have a penalty on your pay. This is not set directly, is because, again, this is kind of like a job simulator. But again, there is no urgency on it. So now that we are here, we could actually kind of block the road, but it doesn't matter. So you see the truck is there. We go here, we say complete job, and boom, we get paid, and the truck is gone. And the truck is gone. We go over here, we have start shift again. But yeah, so this is how the game looks.